But this is a really cool and effective way that when you are releasing new episodes, that you just attach that link, and not only do they get to preview it, but they can select other platforms that the podcast is on that suits their desirable platform.
Welcome to the Soundboard with Tofe podcast. To the industry leaders and forward-thinking companies, this is your resource to become a better podcaster. You'll be taken on a journey to learn tips and tricks around podcast strategy, editing, and curation. And here's your host, Tofe Evans.
Hey guys, Tofe here, your host of the Soundboard with Tofe podcast. I have a question for you. So when you are releasing a new episode, what do you use as the link to tell your new listeners? Is it a link to Apple, a link to Spotify, a link to YouTube, a link to any and every platform? Is that something that you do? If so, I've got something to make your life easier and your listeners' lives easier by having one link that is a directory to all the platforms. If you have heard of Linktree, or if you use Linktree already, you will know that it is a bit of a lifesaver in the fact that you may have a link in your Instagram where you can only have one link in the bio, and it's got your website, it's got, say, your blog, it's got your LinkedIn, and anything else that you have. You could have any resources in there as well. But I'm going to show you a new tool, and it's for podcast specific. So I'm going to just share my screen. Now, if you are watching this, you would obviously be able to see this on YouTube or through vodcasts on Spotify. Otherwise, you're going to have to listen to this on every other platform and just go along with the ride. Now, with my screen here, Linktree has just brought out a new feature that is podcast specific. Now, what they've done is, if you can see here, when I click on, now this is to do with my podcast, when I click Soundboard with Tofe podcast, you will be able to see a preview. You will be able to see all the episodes that I have and all the other platforms that it's on. So if I click on see all, you can see that you can listen to it through Spotify or Apple or Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and etc. And that is awesome because this is only a new feature that just recently came out. And then with the rest of my Linktree, I've got my website, free resources, if you want to rate the podcast. But if I show you the back end of it, this is what it looks like. And all you need to do is hit add new link. I've pasted in the URL to my website that's on Spotify. And then all I need to do here is click podcast link. And I've got all these different options on the behavior of what it would look like when I'm actually on the phone, which you can see to the right here. And I've just had it on the setting where it displays all the podcast platforms it's on and then has a Spotify audio preview of the most recent episode. And then in here underneath, I just add in all the platforms it's on. So there's a lot of platforms, but I don't use them all because there's no point. And I'm someone that thinks that if there's too much of something, then if anything, that's going to create decision paralysis. It's like going to a restaurant and there's 400 things on the menu and freaking out and just picking anything. So I've just used the main ones. And yeah, it's quite customizable. Where I've put the link personally, I've got it in the Soundboard Instagram page. So that link leads to my Linktree link. And then when I click on it, this is what it looks like. So you can use this link for social media copy. You can use this in obviously your Instagram handles. You can use it for, I believe, your website as well, your email signature. But this is a really cool and effective way that when you are releasing new episodes, that you just attach that link, and not only do they get to preview it, but they can select other platforms that the podcast is on that suits their desirable platform. Hope that was valuable. Leave a comment if you're watching this, if you found this valuable. If you're listening, please share the podcast. That would be very supportive to me. and I will see you in the next episode.
Thank you for listening, and for more information about Soundboard services, please check out the show notes. Lastly, Soundboard acknowledges the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today, paying respects to elders past, present and emerging.